Hi, it's me, Angie from Learn Love Tarot, to bring you the weekly moon cycle and the planetary energetic update for the week of March 17th, 2025, so that we know what to expect of the universal energies surrounding us. If you do find this information useful, hit the like button for me to let me know that, and thank you in advance for sharing your energy with me by subscribing to my channel. You can learn more about me as a reader, including personal readings and custom created birth charts that are color coded for easier understanding back on my homepage. Now, let's get to what you can expect this week. So, when I am teaching about the moon cycle energy, I don't use a traditional square calendar. I think about the energy and, yes, the 4 weeks of energy, but I see them as an energetic cycle that is similar to a roller coaster of energy. When we reach the top of the cycle, that is when the moon is full because we've turned the full light of the moon on. It is a yin energy or divine feminine energy because we're asked to surrender. So as you can see, my little Empress here in her cart and saying we. So this ride that we have here for 2 weeks, all the way down to the new moon or the yang energy, where we'll start building and taking actions of the emperor again. In between the time, we're going to be talking about this yellow strip of energy right here, all the way through the third quarter moon. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, just to remind us, we are coming off of the energetics of the full moon here, and that was on Friday the 14th. And it was the full moon in Virgo energy, which reminds us that we are good enough. It's a very nurturing, supportive energy with that full moon in Virgo. It was an eclipse, so those are pretty intense because it was near the south node of karma, right? So of past life energy, not good, not bad. They are both. It's just energy balancing us out. We're encouraged to not let our past hold us back, and it's where we release those lessons that are through. So here we have, with that eclipse energy, conclusions are within reach. So you might have experienced some endings recently here or are going through that now. Virgo is an energy that is mutable. And so after that, we moved into the energy of Libra. So not shortly after, it was later that night because we were at a later degree of the moon in Virgo. So we quickly shifted to the moon in Libra. The reason I'm so passionate about talking about moon energy, because it is all about feelings. If you have a lot of water in your chart, it's about our emotions. You will feel this energetic shift every 2.5 days. And if we know what's coming and we kind of start tracking our emotions during the month through these 2.5 day changes, we can kind of be able to plan ahead and know when we're feeling like our best self, when we have the most energy, and when we're feeling more drained. So after the moon is finished through Libra, okay, in that cardinal sign of leadership and starts and starting energy, we moved into a Scorpio moon at 3:30 this morning, bright and early, and I was up. So 3:30, and I could not go back to sleep. So these are going to be columns of energy, Monday all the way moving through Sunday. So today's energy being the path of knowledge. We add up today's date, 3 plus 17 plus 9 of the 2025. And we get the number 29 that further reduces to the number 11, which is the energy of balance and justice. That is a master number of high intuition, of leadership, of independence. And when we add 1 and 1 together to get the energy of 2, there's our high priestess energy there, and 5D messages are being channeled right through. We can hear them as long as we are in a high vibrational frequency ourselves, are calm and relaxed, and we can find that third eye much, much easier than we can having to work through static of lower vibrational energy, which are simply things like anger, frustration. It happens to the best of us, but then we become unable to see or hear the messages that spirit is trying to help us with. Now, with the moon in Scorpio, the sun is still in its final throes of Pisces energy. And the degree that we're at right now is about fulfilling our desires. And this is for today. Each section of the zodiacal wheel through each sign moves 30 degrees. So you will see a 30 for the Sabian symbol of Pisces. However, you will never see a 30-degree location on your birth chart because those move up to 29 degrees, 59 minutes before ticking over to 0 degrees. And we'll talk about that as we move over there with the sun into Aries. So today's energy is all about fulfilling our desires. And what was also cool about today is that the nodes, right? The nodes of faith. I just talked about Virgo energy being in the south node of past life karma, of our soul's journey. The north node is an energy of where our destiny is calling us, and it asks us to step out of our comfort zone. So the sun in Pisces today at 2:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time formed an energetic conjunction. So they come together basically and visit each other at the same degree. Okay. And the last 5 degrees, the theme of Pisces has been and will continue to be through Wednesday, realization of faith. We consider Pisces energy the mystic, the shaman, the guide, this high priestess energy right here. That is Pisces power card. What's interesting further is that realization or that fulfilling our desires, feeling a strong pull to do that is magnetized by this north node of destiny. It'll look like an upside down horseshoe on your birth chart. Later on tonight at 9:00 p.m., we have Black Moon Lilith, which is all about decisions and desires, moving into her final throes. She is at 29 degrees right now. And at 9:00 tonight, she'll hit that exactly. And we round up to the next Sabian symbol. So this is going to be all about using that spiritual wisdom that we are understanding about fulfilling our desires and eventually being able to view every situation through a lens of love. Okay. And this final lesson here in Libra, look for this in your chart right before Libra changes over into the Scorpio energy. This is the final test. So this is all about taking the knowledge that we've gained, our spiritual knowledge, and using it as a platform to go even deeper. So wherever that is in your chart, this last degree of Libra, that is where you'll be making some decisions based on desire. Okay, maybe even secrets. Lilith is a game changer. She's a table flipper. She's a rebel. So, how are we going to use this entire lesson? Black Moon Lilith is in one sign every 9 months. So she's been there for a hot minute. She's going to be here in this lesson through the 26th of March. So, continuing to move through the sun into Tuesday, we have the moon still in Scorpio, but we move into a disseminating moon. So, as we move down the roller coaster to the new moon where the light is off, you see the turning down the light of the moon by how it's starting to get dark here. It's not quite full like it was. That is the energy, again, of where we throw our hands up because we've already done the work back here. And now this is the ride that we get based off of the prior 2 weeks. Okay. So tomorrow's energy for Tuesday will be adding up to the number 30. And that is the path of surrender. And that is the energy of the Empress and the Hanged Man, hence the path of surrender. This is also considered an energy of seeing something from a 180 perspective, so from a completely different view, and can also be a time of spiritual enlightenment. And there we hit the 29th degree of the sun in Pisces. And this is about understanding universal consciousness, the fact that we are all one and we are able to tap into this higher consciousness of all of our loved ones, everyone that has ever existed that is not reincarnated this lifetime on the earth. Their energy is a collective body that we can tap into through meditation. Okay, that is where we listen. Prayer is more so focused on the ask, and meditation is focused on listening to the messages that are coming in. And as this sun energy starts to come to its end, again at its anaretic degree, the lesson is, are we seeing everything through a lens of love? Are we simultaneously looking for God and looking through God's eyes to understand that we're all part of the collective consciousness? We can tap into that. We will become that. Now, on Wednesday, that'll be the 19th. We have the Emperor energy here, and that is the path of protection. That day adds up to a 31, which then reduces to the number 4, with the sister energy being death and rebirth. And in today's charm cast, I did pull 2 butterflies. One of those coming out, I believe, definitely one was on the air energy, and I believe the second butterfly charm was on the fire card. So that could be happening in those life areas of your birth chart. Also on Wednesday, we do still have the moon in Scorpio here. But what happens as we are changing energies over into the next sign, the moon will go void of course. And that would be similar to a Mercury retrograde energy, where we have problems with sending emails or communications can break down. Now, the good news is that this particular void of course on Wednesday is less than an hour. With that moon void of course in Scorpio, it will be trining or flowing to the energy of Neptune. So that is going to amplify this energy here of becoming whatever it is that we idealize. And we'll be trining at that energy at 29 degrees, 35 minutes. So again, we round up to the next degree when we're looking at the Sabian lesson and the symbols that were divine for those almost 100 years ago. So Neptune being all about dreams, illusion, delusion, fantasy, escapism, enchantment. can also be very, very confusing, especially in the energy of Pisces, where it'll be trining here flowing with the moon in Scorpio. Now, after that trine, like I said, about an hour later, we will have the moon entering Sagittarius energy. Okay, and this is on the same day, on Wednesday, and that will be at 4:16 p.m. And then later on that night, around 7:30, again, this is Eastern Standard Time, the sun's energy will be conjunct. Okay, so the sun still in Pisces here will be joined up with or meeting in the same house with Neptune as well. So not only do we have a change of our moon energy, but we'll have that sun conjuncting also with Neptune. So for a second time that day, amplifying the energy of this last part of our lesson in Pisces. And moving into, we'll keep the Sagittarius energy up there just for easier remembering. Now, as we move over into Thursday, the sun is going to be moving into Aries finally. So it is our spring equinox. It's a day of rebirth. It's when we start anew, we set intentions, and it's a day of freedom. When we look at that energy of the 20th of March, all added up together, we get the number 32, which then further breaks down to the number 5, which is the energy of the Hierophant. Okay, that is the energy of great learning, the steps we've taken in our ascension, what we have learned ourselves, then sharing that energy with others. Its sister energy is going to be Sagittarius's Temperance energy. And this is Archangel Michael that converts or helps us transmute pain into wisdom, alchemizing lead into gold. Now, as the sun does move into a whole new sign, we'll need to be able to focus and pay attention to all readings that revolve around Aries, because that'll affect us all no matter what sign we were born under with the sun. Now, with this Temperance and Hierophant energy, the whole first 5 degrees of Aries is about emergence. And the lesson of that day is about becoming an essence seed of our soul's incarnation, what we came here to do, which we figure out through deep meditation and understanding these hierarchy of lessons of spirituality. Okay. And what we do on a spring equinox, again, is all about what do we want to bless with a new start, the spring equinox. What plants are we expecting to culminate of seeds that we've already planted? And then we're going to be planting new seeds of new intentions, whatever we want to bless with new start energy. And that's going to be on Thursday, the path of tradition there with the Hierophant energy. Moving into Friday's energy, we have the date adding up to the number 33, another master number. 33 or 3 plus 3 is the energetic vibration of the path of freedom. Furthermore, the sister energy to that would be the devil. We all have this energy. It's part of the major arcana for a reason. It's what we feel puppeteered by, what we feel called to, right? These can be addictions and mostly come up as patterns that we need to look at that are revealed through our triggers, right? Through the mirror image of those we love and who love us. Those triggers are always shown to us. Further, on that day, on Friday the 21st, we will have here, let me get under here. We have an energy in the sun of learning the skill of adjustment to feedback. Again, the mirror energy, those that love us and those that we love show us our own selves, including our wounds, right? Through the triggering emotions that we have in those relationships. So, Venus on that day that is in retrograde or moving backwards in the lessons of the Sabian symbols will be sextiling Pluto. So, a sextile I always think of as synergy. It's when you look two signs or two houses away, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees is a sextile, and that is a positive energy that brings us opportunity. Much like a trine where it flows, the energy all flows together. It is an assisting energy. It synergizes, right? It creates possibilities. It opens doors. It communicates. It welcomes. Again, just a positive flow. Now, that is going to synergize with Pluto energy, the planet of transformation, and that'll be in the sign of Aquarius. And we are still in the theme of balance for the first 5 Sabian lessons of Aquarius. And right now, we are still in this energy of understanding the necessary lessons that heal ourselves of distortions of light. So, what would keep us from learning and understanding this energy that we are one in order to become what we idealize? Okay, so that's going to be a very nice synergy of energy there. So I do not ever worry about the devil energy too much. He comes and he goes. Really, it's usually about habits that we need to rid ourselves of, or our shadow aspects of self. So for me, that Friday is an energy of freeing ourselves from our shadows by recognizing what they are. And that's possibly through the eyes of another that we love that show us ourselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, on Saturday, is when we are hitting. I'm going to scoot these guys over here. Sun still being in our Aries energy. But here we go. But we are looking at also on Saturday, we have the moon moving into Capricorn. Okay, so we're changing energetic signs again, and we are back at where we started over the weekend with the moon in Libra as a cardinal sign. We come back into the cardinal sign of Capricorn. Also on Saturday, this is the third quarter moon. And this is a end to that energetic week. Okay, this is a stopping point. It's halfway down our coaster ride before getting to the new moon. But that's where we decide, are we going to stick with these old plans, or are we going to do something new? So on that day of Aries energy, we'll be moving into the Sabian symbol of 2, that Aries energy. And that is about wherever that card just went, the comedian energy, or learning to take feedback, learning to adjust to feedback. This is also where, before we get to the ending, that we decide, you know, even if we may not want to let go of something, this is something that'll show up that shows us we need to let go of it. And we have to decide, are we going to stick with the old plans, or are we going to start thinking of making new ones? And what is the message or the challenge of the conflict? What is this trying to teach you? So, again, on the way down to the new moon, when that whatever side is dark, you can put your hand over, and we're either turning down the light, or, for example, when we're working up to a first quarter moon, hand on the dark, and we're turning the light on of the moon. So remember, we're turning the light down and we're making our way down to that new beginning. Now, on Saturday, that is an energy of the chariot where our head must be in alignment with the heart because that is the soul's chariot or Merkaba energy. And we only drive that chariot without reins when our soul energy is what is carrying us forward. The soul energy takes the reins. Now, the sister energy to the chariot would be the tower, and that can bring energy of sudden change, like the energy of the lovers. This is a dualistic energy because the chariot is a yes card and the tower is a no card. Okay. This is a soon or when we get our head and our heart aligned. And this is a no card or of sudden or of now. That could be when this conflict may be showing up at that third quarter moon. It is a day that adds up to a 34, which is 3 plus 4 of how we get the 7. So it's about change and growth. What's interesting to me on Saturday is that we are halfway through. Thank goodness we are halfway through the Venus retrograde. So we've gone 20 days by the time we hit Saturday, and then we have 20 more days of that Venus retrograde. But Saturday at the end of the day is a day of love. It's about renewed love stories or even brand new love stories. That could even be the shock or something that is unexpected. Also interesting to me is that with that date adding up to a 34, winding back the clock 34 years is 1991. So 1991 is a palindrome, which carries with it a whole separate vibrational frequency that you may want to look up or check out. All right. And finally, for Sunday, we are looking at the third day of being the sun in Aries, and that is about seeing ourselves in the context of being in relation to others. Okay, so again, that mirrored energy of the lovers, how we are seen by others, how we see them, how they see our shadows and our strengths. So on Sunday, again, we started that sun in Aries on Thursday. Friday was a 2, Saturday was a 3, and then we move into, speaking of the lovers, balancing the inner feminine and masculine polarities. So that is again, it's like a whole weekend of love here, even some kind of surprising energy that could be a shock. On Sunday, the 22nd, that adds up to a 35. And it breaks down to 3 plus 5 is an 8 of strength. And that lemniscate of energy is when we're taming our own inner beast. And when we balance our insides in one half of that figure 8, the energy or the energetics from the outside align with our own inner balance. The sister energy to the sun would be the star card, Aquarian energy, that opposes or is opposite of Leo energy. And that can be even a weekend where it's a wish granted energy. As long as we are staying tethered to our dream and willing to take even the smallest steps towards them, that helps let the universe know that we're still in it to win it and that we are taking action for them to then energetically help us make it through and make our way to that star's wish or wish fulfillment, to our wish granted. All right, guys, I hope that helps you. Let me know again if this is something that you're interested in hearing about, and I'll do another one and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, it'll evolve. But next Monday, I'll be talking about this week of energy as we approach that solar eclipse in Aries, where we figure out, well, what's the wrap? What is the closing of that Aries story that started with the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra back on July 17th, July 17th of 2023 and ended in January. And now this is like the for real end, the dead end, and that's a wrap to our story. Okay, guys, I hope this message finds you well. Much love from me to you, and bye bye for now.